Hello.
I think we're good.
Is that working?
Yeah, we're on. We're live. So I've got to do this really stupid thing at the start of everything. So I calibrate the camera to what we're speaking. So I go
like
that. To be honest, only I needed to do it, but it's fine. Okay. We're doing it. So we're live. Welcome back to We Don't Care. Today we've got a step-in co-host, the one and only. You remember him from the other show?
It's me, George. Hello.
And then we've got
Kieran, fresh from a 6-day bender. How are we doing?
So, obviously, for those that don't know you, Kieran, just fucking tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and we'll get deeper into the depths of Kieran's life in a minute.
So, in short, Kieran, I'm one of two. I'm a twin, identical twin. At the moment, I can't really introduce myself as much because I'm not really up to much. Salesman by trade. That's me in a nutshell.
Lovely.
Nice. Right. So obviously, Kieran, I've got you on here for one reason and one reason only. You've got some fucking mad stories. You've been to the arse end of nowhere. You've cycled through deserts. You've fled countries, and you've shook hands with the greats. So, main thing is, start from the beginning. Obviously, we spoke about you having to get out of Jakarta before.
Yeah.
What's that story then?
So, without waffling on about the story, long in short, I got offered a job out in Indonesia in Jakarta. Now the job was supposed to be sort of silver lined, all sort of expenses paid for, business class flights, accommodation. It was like a package deal of a job. Mm-hmm. So I've flown out there from Manchester. So I've just packed a bag, left all my stuff, went out there. And it was kind of like a boiler shop scheme of work, whereas you go out there and it's dodgy as fuck from the get go. We had in our mind over the phone, the guys, the managers to speak, basically said, you're going to get to the airport, you're going to be greeted, and then you're going to get brought to your apartment. The first 2 days we're going to take you out for food, drinks, you're going to settle into the team, and so on. So I arrived to the airport and there's like 10 other Brits, a Scouser, a Brummie, a few people from London, and we got there, we got picked up from the airport, we got given like burner phones, and these guys already from the start, it was like Nokia breaks, like absolute shit for phones. But he gave me in like a package, like a brown envelope. There was like the equivalent to £200 in there of their currency and a phone. And straight away they went, right, everyone turn your phones off. These are your phones from now. You're not allowed to use iPhones, smartphones. I was like, anyway, it's a bit weird. Roll with it. So we go from the airport to this apartment, which was just a hotel. Gives our key cards. We were all buzzing about it. It's like, fucking hell, we're in Indonesia. It's nice and warm. Shorts and t-shirt. And yeah, we got brought out for food. Sort of met the team, and it was just like these like weird southern, energetic sort of apples and pears kind of guys. Fucking.
So like the team over there, they're all like British guys, just like fucking.
Yeah. All British guys, all wearing jewellery, Rolexes, thinking the king dates. So at this point, we're like, oh, they must be doing well, they look good, presentable.
Just to set the scene, what is it, a shithole over there, or?
Jakarta itself, city-wise, is a shithole. yeah, it's a complete shithole. The opposite to Bali. I know Bali's still a shithole, but it's a nice shithole.
Yeah.
Like, Jakarta's horrible, humid, sweaty, disgusting.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, we got brought out. We all meet together, like having drinks. We're all introducing ourselves. We've all flown there. We don't know these guys. We're all starting the same job together. We're going to work in the same team. And originally, before we went out there, they said to us, the job is basically selling marketing to big companies, high net worth individuals, so on. So anyways, we have drinks, good night, steak dinners, and then the morning comes and it's the day of training. So as soon as we walk into training, I'm in shorts and t-shirt, mate. I'm like, it's fucking hot out there. Don't bear in mind I had a suit, but it was like sticky, humid. I didn't want to put a suit on. Anyways, as soon as I walk in, everyone else is sat down, one of the last ones in. This guy goes to me over the table in front of everyone. He goes, what the fuck are you wearing? You fucking first day at work and you're fucking wearing shorts? I was like, what? Bear in mind, it's in front of this whole group of people. I was like,
so he's outing you straight away?
Yeah, literally. And it was like an aggressive tone. I was like, fucking hang on a minute, who are you talking to? Like that simple.
Yeah.
And this guy was sort of trying to assert his dominance into this group of people, and he's like, go and fucking get changed and come back. Anyways, I've walked out of the room, I'm fucking livid at this point. I'm like, who the fuck
I know,
is this
day
guy?
one, you fucking...
Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, literally, in front of this group of people, like, anyways, weird as fuck, I thought. Anyways, calm down, had a little breather, had a ciggy, got changed, come back. Come in, and he didn't even look at me when I walked in the room. Bear in mind, I'm like, fucking, who is this prick?
Yeah.
Anyways, he's basically telling us about our training, what we're doing, about the job. And then from there, I was like nudging this guy under the table. His name's Sean. I travelled Australia with him.
Yeah. I remember listening to your podcast, so obviously that's where I know the story from, but obviously I wanted to get like the full in-depth, what went on and shit.
Yeah, so at this point, anyways, tell us about the training, what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. Gives us his induction pack. And there's these sheets of paper, which are basically NDAs, like non-disclosures. And he's like, have a read through this, sign this, da-da-da. So I'm like, fucking hell, this is weird. I was basically like a big contract signing your life away. You're going to work 40 hours. You're going to abide to the rules of the office. You're going to set into work, do this, do that. Anyways, sign this sheet. And then he goes, right, we're going to take out some dinners again. Again, nice place, steak dinners, okay, bottles, vodkas, everything. So, all right, cool, no worries. And then we have a night out. So, again, this collective of, like, managers, there was, like, 3-4 of them. They went, right, go out, but you're going to turn into training at 9 a.m. Don't go out. So, I'm like, fuck this. Anyways, it was a long day of training. We sat there listening to this bollocks presentation for hours. Obviously, us as a group, like, right, fuck it, we're going out. We're going to go out. So, anyways, we go out into the bum end of nowhere, Jakarta, and I'm like, straight away, I said, listen, fucking, because I'm seeing signs, man, we're going strippers. So, anyways, we go to
As you do.
As you do, of course. Foreign country, see the local produce first. So we go to this strip club, and I remember it clear as day. It was like a hidden kind of strip club, but there's one sign for it going. It's a very sort of shady looking place, fucking people smoking in there and whatever. So I thought, right, have a little lap dance. Next minute, this burner phone rings, and it was my phone that actually called, and his name was Nick or something. Calls the phone. Where are you, geese? And he always kept on calling us geese. It was weird. He's like, where are you, geese? Where you at? We're in the hotel. We're looking for you guys. So just out. And he's like, where out? I'm going to send someone now. And before I knew it, in about 4 seconds time, there was this car waiting for us outside. So they obviously knew we were following us. Weird. Anyways, the basic was like, you need to come back to the apartment. We need your passports.
Oh, no.
Right. Yeah.
No, no.
Bear in mind, we've been in this strippers for ages. We're pissed up. And I'm like, nah, this is fucked. Because I was already saying to these, like, it's a bit shady. You know, if you heard about it, you offer letters and all this.
Main thing is, you don't give anyone your fucking passport.
Do you? Fuck. No way.
Not in a foreign country.
No.
No. Fuck that. So anyways, that was shady. I was saying to the lot, I said, this is weird. The basic marched us back to this hotel we were staying at. So we go in. Straight away, they followed us up. There's like 4 of them again. And there's like stood outside the rooms, basically waiting for our passports. So I just said to them, I said, what do you need your passports for? They went, because we need to get your IDs verified to get your passes to get into the office. So some bollocks like that. I said, I'm not going to give you my passport. I'll get it photocopied. I'll go downstairs and photocopy it. And this guy was like, no, we need your physical copies, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, he's like trying to muscle like passports. I was like, not happening, not a chance. And anyways, this guy kicked to a fuss. He was like, you're here, we've paid for you to be here. If I ask for your passport, you give it, sort of situation. I went, not happening, simple as, you're not getting my passport. I said, you need it for a pass, for a pass to get in the building. How does that even work? This guy couldn't give us a straight answer. And listen, passports, I was like, nah, fuck this. So I said to my mate Sean, I said, listen, let's leave. So we left this hotel, went to a little bar. I said to him, I said, this is shady. Sit him down. I said, what do you think? He said, yeah, it's a bit weird this. So I said, right, listen, I've got my Australia visa, get yours. I said, Bali's about fucking an hour flight and it's 60 quid. I said, I've got 60 quid, you've got 60 quid, let's just go. Anyways, we've gone upstairs, he's got his Australia visa and he accepted like that. And we basically just got our bags. As we're walking out the hotel, these guys are like basically not letting us leave. The guys that work in the apartment hotel sort of complex.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Anyways, we've gone to get out the front door. They won't let us out. So even at that point, me and Sean and Scouse were like, fuck this. We're pushing the little Indonesians out the way, like, fuck off. Like, you know, we're going. Bear in mind, I've got this huge backpack on my shoulders. Sean's got a suitcase. Like, honestly, he couldn't do a quick escape. He had this big suitcase, like, huge suitcase, like double the size of me. He's fucking trying to wheel the thing along while we're running. And this guy grabs hold of him. So he's like, gone like this. And I've pushed one of them over. Next minute, like, people in the street are just running over to us. So fuck this. So I flagged this car down. We jumped in a taxi with our bags. Just said drive. So we rock up to the airport, we get a flight and we leave. So we fled that country, done. But then we found out when we got to Bali, we was a bit like, wow, this is fucking nuts. We spoke with a few of the other people there. And I put it on Facebook, and this guy replies on Facebook saying, "Yeah, I know someone that's been out there for 6 months. It's like they call it a boiler shop scheme.
Right.
Like there's a film called Boiler Shop about this sort of weird job opportunity. Anyways, yeah, they take your passports off you. They make you work for them from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They don't pay you unless you're selling things. And realistically, you're ripping companies off. You're not selling the marketing. You're getting them to buy stocks and shares of dodgy foreign companies.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
okay. How do you even find out about this job? Like, it can't have been on Indeed.
Yeah.
It was indeed. Like I say, because of my profession and whatever, I've always used LinkedIn. One day, I left a job at Just Eat. I was working in account management, Just Eat. Good job. Couldn't really be asked of it. I had a falling out with my manager. Went on Indeed, and this job came through. Like a 5-stage interview. The interview process was even nuts. We meet with some manager. We've got to do a role play. We've got to they give us like this script, and we've got to sell something, and we've got to go overboard with selling it.
So they made it seem like it's a serious fucking job.
Yeah, really serious job. And every time at any point, they'd be like, the earning potential and this, and like, do you want to wear the Rolexes and do you want to drive the nice cars? And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, obviously, yeah. But I found it so weird from the outset. But this guy was initially did the Zooms with whatever. He had the suited up. He looked the part, and he spoke, and you'd believe him. Like whatever he said, you'd believe him. One of them kind of guys, like fucking fair enough. So yeah, took that job. This offer letter came through, and it was like, I just read this offer letter. I was like, my flight's there. 30 days free accommodation. The money package is kind of all right. Like, fucking taking care of.
It's exciting as well. You go into a different country, doing your thing.
Straight up, and at that point, I was breaking up with my girlfriend. Like long-term relationship, and I was like, I need to get out anyway. So
yeah.
I wanted something like that. Never really realised them kind of things existed. And I got this job, went out there, and it's like, yeah, it sounds.
Man, so from there, obviously, you said you went to Bali. What was that like when you was over there? Was it just like a sick lads holiday? Were you and your mate?
Well, like I say, it was nuts because we just fled Jakarta. Now, even before that, we weren't like paranoid or anything like that, but they were sort of telling people that they run like parts of Bali and they've got all these houses in Bali. So we were thinking paranoid, like they're following us. You know what I mean? Because of the way it went around and they were chasing us and shit like that. And these guys were like pretty heavy kids. They was in like nice cars every time they picked us up, and the watches and shit like this.
Yeah.
Indonesia, for example, you could pay someone fucking £5 and they'll
Look
do whatever.
you.
Yeah. So, anyways, we were after Bali. I won't lie to you, we're skinned with no cash. I originally flew out there with no cash. I'd gone out there with no money saved up. I took this job opportunity. I was like, I can live off what they pay in a week. That's fine. So we arrived into Bali and was like, fucking hell, it's nice here. So, got a bit of money sent through, partied for a few days, and we're like, what the fuck are we going to do now? We're in Bali. But he still had his Australian visa. So I basically sold him the dream, Sean. I was like, yeah, I've got everything planned out just in case. I've got this backup plan. I already had this in my mind. I didn't. I was like, fuck, we're going to have to get from Bali to Australia now. And how the fuck do we do that? So got money through, stayed in Bali for a bit, and then I found us 2 jobs. So I was like, right, sweet. We're going to fly from Bali to Cairns. Flew to Cairns, tropical. Was like, oh, fucking this proper Australia, this. Belting, love it. Great vibes. And this job offer came from a place called Camperdown outside of Melbourne. Now, I didn't realise the climate differences of like Victoria, Australia to Cairns, Australia at the top. So
Isn't it all just hot?
No, trust me. Like, so we was in Cairns. I was like shorts and t-shirt, baking. Like, this is fucking proper Australia. Anyways, we fly down to Melbourne. It's pissing it down. It's freezing cold. And this job offer was working on a dairy farm. Oh, no. So, like I said, we had no cash. We're like, fuck
milking
it.
cows and that.
Yeah. But then I thought, Melbourne, your city, you'll be all right. We drive 2.5 hours outside of Melbourne. It's fucking freezing. Like I say, I've been in Cairns, tropical. I've got shorts and t-shirts.
Oh, no.
Now, because I didn't buy checked baggage, of course, because I couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
I just had to take out all my like heavy like jumpers, pants, and I threw them all in the bin. Like to even get to Cairns from Bali.
Tough.
Yeah. So I worked on a dairy farm for like 2 weeks. We just got paid. I was like, right, fuck this is not for us. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. milking cows, like getting covered in shit. It was disgusting. And then, like I say, with it being freezing as well, I was like, what have we done? You know, where the hell are we? I thought it was supposed to be in Australia. It's fucking freezing.
You're there, you've sold him dream about, oh yeah, I've got this backup plan.
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah. You want to see the gaff they put us in as well? I was like, when I found a job through Facebook, the guy was like, you know, car, accommodation, everything sort of included. The house they put us in, it was like an old sort of Australian shack. There was a red-nosed pit bull tied up like in the next room. It was so scary. So like obviously no heating, no nothing in the house, and like as soon as we walk in the bath, you could just tell it was a shithole.
Yeah.
Like, it was a disgusting old farm crack den of a house.
Have you got any pictures of it?
Yeah, I've got them somewhere, but they're not on that phone. They're on my laptop or something. But I'll send it.
When I'm editing it all, just send everything over because I'll make this look fucking sick.
Oh yeah, I will. Anyways, yeah, it was disgusting, horrible.
Nice. So from there, obviously you was milking cows and shit. What happened after that? Like, where did you go?
So we got paid, we got our cash. Basically, I was like, right, we need to get to Melbourne. You know, we'll get into a city, we'll find jobs, no problem. So we get into Melbourne, managed to sort out accommodation for us, no worries, stayed in a few hostels and that. And then I got a job offer because I applied for it, because I worked with delivery in Manchester, did a bit of sales, account management there. And there's a job going in Melbourne on New York Street in like delivery's best office besides Singapore. So I was like, fuck this. Anyways, got this job, and I just went back into sort of my corporate,
Yeah.
like, you know, day to day. But it was class. So I went to Deliveroo. I worked with them for 6 months, got a promotion. I was in my new role for 2 months, got made redundant. So then with the redundancy cash, I was like, yeah, travel to Australia, no problem.
Unreal.
But man landed there with no cash either. So I was like,
I know you've winged your way around Australia. That's
a
insane.
win. That's a win.
Mate, big win.
Insane. So, like, obviously, being in Australia, what was it like? Like, well, how old were you? Like 22, 23?
20...
21?
4?
24?
Because, yeah, 3 years. We're there 3 years, 27 now. Yeah, 24.
Yeah. What was it like being just like fucking just on your own, just doing your thing in Australia?
Class, because I had Sean with me, my mate. Like,
Yeah.
He would have been completely different if I didn't have Sean with me. Like, that guy, if I hadn't been, we went through so much shit together. You know what I mean? Like, mad situations, like skinning in and out of jobs. Like, before I got the delivery job, we were doing sort of like regional work, like working on the roads and stuff like this, like proper scatty Australian backpacking
I bet it was
jobs.
rough doing that in Australia.
It was gross. But yeah, it was class because I was with Sean and he was in the exact same boat as me. You know, we had not arguments, but a few disagreements going through the same shit. But yeah, it was class. It was class. And then when I left Melbourne, obviously redundancy money, me and Sean parted ways.
Have you seen him since?
Yeah, we met back up. He moved to Perth, and like I said, Scouser, all the Scousers go to Perth.
Yeah.
All the Scousers go to Perth. Every single Scouser in Australia is in Perth. So he's in Perth, he's doing this little job, you know, he's got a nice little place, he's sound. So I thought, fuck this. I started working for my visa. I had to do my 88 days regional work.
Right.
So I went bum end, top of Western Australia, got a job in a beach resort. It was class. Monkey Mia Dolphin Resort, like, unreal sort of working on the bar, waiting on a bit of food, that sort of stuff. Worked there for 3 weeks, got sacked, and then went up to Point Samson, which is another beach resort. Did 4 weeks there, got sacked, and then
Why did you get
There's a common theme.
Yeah, you've been sacked quite a few times. What's going on here?
So first time at Monkey Mia, I got sacked because, like I said, I'm not a barman and I don't like rowdy people. And there's this fucking rowdy bunch of people, like, couldn't have the drinks. Anyways, I was like, no more for you, you know, cutting off. And confrontation, if someone confronts me, I'm going to give it them back. So I'm stood at the bar, I'm like, listen, you've had enough. And this guy's like, you fucking fuckwit, you know.
You didn't scrap someone on a job, did you?
I nearly did. And then, I just sort of had to get dragged away. And then this manager's like, yeah, you can't work here anymore. I'm like, fair enough. So I went up to Point Samson, did a similar kind of vibe. And I was working in a kitchen. I was like plating them up, starters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the reason I got sat there is because it was bum end of Western Australia, dry heat, 40 odd degrees outside. Now I'm in a little kitchen. It's about 70 to 80 degrees in there. So all day,
I've worked in kitchens before, and I know how hot it is over here in the UK, let alone fucking Australia.
mate, top bum end of Western Australia as well, and it was like dry heat. And I was like, listen, I fucking on hydrolytes, non-stop waters. I was like sweating, like I could just see it in my face. I'm not healthy right now. So I said to him, I said, listen, can I go up on a bar, work on a bar? He was like, yeah, sound. Anyways, I'm working on the bar. having a good time, loving it. And this manager guy, he came back from his holidays, and he wanted girls at the bar, clearly, you know, and he always said to them, wear something a bit sort of. It was very
bikini top.
He was a proper nonce of a guy, like proper like Australian sort of trucker, like vest, dirty, oil all over him, therefore wanks off in his office watching girls, that kind of situation.
I specifically know the kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're that type of guy.
I just looked at you as I said that. So.
Fantastic.
You work in a gym.
I do.
yeah. Right. There's some good sights in there.
Oh, wow.
And from there, anyways, I had this disagreement with this guy. I was like, listen, I don't like the way you're talking to these girls. Like, it's a bit weird. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, you fucking sect.
So you basically told him he was a bit weird and he sacked you?
Yeah, he was a creepy guy. He was creeping me out anyways, and I was going to leave, so I was like, I'm kind of like, you're a bit weird, mate. Like,
all for being a feminist. It's just not
exactly,
right.
you know what I mean? Feminist as fuck. Can't believe it. These days, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So, obviously, you've been there, you've come back to the UK. Now, moving on to the next bit. So, obviously, I said that I was lurking on your Instagram earlier on, like a fucking creep. You cycled across the fucking desert. What's that story?
So, cycled across the desert because originally I flew from Perth to Saudi for the boxing. Now, my dad was working in Riyadh at the time, and I'd not seen my dad in a few years, and he was always saying, I'll come out to Australia. But anyways, I spotted an opportunity. I said, Dad, you're in Saudi, this big boxing event's coming on, can you buy me a flight? Fly me out. Anyways, the reason for cycling through the desert was because at that point I wanted to stay in Saudi, and one of my mates from Preston, Charlie, he cycled from Preston sort of all around the world on his push bike, sort of doing bike packing. So I was like, right, I've got 400 quid left in my account. How the hell can I stay here? What am I going to do? The next minute, Charlie's rocked up on his bike. We went to Al Hilal football game. He was like, yeah, I'm cycling through the desert. I was like, I'm coming with you. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I just met him, to be fair. I'd known him briefly. So I went to the shop, bought a bike, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a bit of an adventure, this. Bear in mind, I am not, at that point, like fit enough to cycle through a desert in 40-odd degree heat.
Yeah.
So I buy this bike. I'm cycling through the desert. I'm smoking while I'm cycling, all this sort of bollocks, like
just seeing it as a good time, not the
I'm
actual
like,
fucking adventure challenge that it is.
Exactly, I'm like, I'm having a little tan and that, cycling, it's vibes, have ciggy, a little coffee and that, sleep by the side of the road in a tent, flying, always. But I'm on this little push bike I bought from the supermarket. Charlie's just way ahead, like he's left.
Is he on like a proper like road bike?
Yeah, he's on like a proper like full works bike. Like, he's got everything there. I'm just on a little Aldi push bike. Just me. So anyways, came to the point, bike broke. I'm absolutely exhausted. Like, I won't lie to you, I was not up for the challenge. I'm like, fuck, gassed. Anyways, I'm at this petrol station, and one of the lads, well, one of the kids, for example, messaged me on Instagram. He's like, you're very stupid. What are you doing in the desert on bike? What are you doing? Anyways, I'm like, I don't know, to be fair. He went, I'm sending driver, you coming back to Riyadh, send location. So I'm sorry.
Did you know him previously from Riyadh, or was it?
Yeah, well, I met him at the boxing, this guy.
Right.
Like, fucking, like I said, Saudis.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get onto the boxing bit in a minute. But...
Yeah, and he sends a driver for me. I'm sat there. It's like dark now. And like I say, in the desert, when it temperature drops, I'm still in shorts and t-shirt. I'm like, shaking, like dry.
I don't
cold.
feel like you seem to dress for the weather, do you?
Nah,
no.
Definitely
like
not.
it's pretty cold today, and you got a polo on.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty warm-blooded, anyways. But yeah, it pisses me up in this fucking like Hummer thing. I'm just sat there, and this big sort of like Hummer just pulls up on me. Lights blinding. I'm like, fucking, it's Al Qaeda. I'm gonna get shot. Like,
this is the end.
Like, serious, because like I say, cars driving past and the sketchy people if you don't know them out there. Like, especially in the desert, people going here from everywhere. Bear in mind, you're on the borders of the most dangerous places ever.
Yeah.
Anyways, pulls up, leave the bike there. Anyways, drives me back to his house, buys me like brand new clothes, like fucking food, drinks. And he's like, we're taking you out. So we went out. But yeah, just a random act of kindness. He picked me up, drove me back to Riyadh, put me in a fucking 5-star hotel. I'm talking like the works of a hotel. Like,
is it insane?
Like swimming pool in the room, not in the room, but like outside the room, your own private pool, your own private quarters. He's like, get in there, get some rest. I'm I'm like, yeah, sweet. I had the best night's sleep ever. And then, yeah.
I'm not surprised you've been in the fucking desert for how long.
Yeah, we set off early, like, bear in mind, I hadn't even slept the night before. Because I was out with some other Saudi lads, and, we had a little smoke up. And,
Yeah. Right, so obviously you've mentioned going on about the boxing and stuff, so tell us about that. Like, again, being a fucking creep on Instagram, I've seen what you got up to, so I want to hear the story, like, from the fucking start.
Right. So, it's a big story, but I'm going to try and break it down for you, key points.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes the key points are quite hard for me. So, the way it started was, I originally found out where all the boxers were staying, where they were doing sort of the press talks and all this sort of stuff, hotels. So me as a fan, gone there to get the pictures and I'll meet the boxers. Like, fucking amazing times, met them all, ish.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Was it Battle of the Baddest, was it?
Battle of the Baddest, yeah. So it was Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, the first crossover, and
Sick.
it was like the huge event. All the A-listers were there, celebrities, you name it, everyone was there. And I'm seeing these like limo truck things all blacked out, like, whoa. What are these? People getting in them, doors getting open for them. So I go over to the guy opening the doors, make friends with him kind of thing. But, I'm kind of blagging him a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got to be blagging it to get
I'm
into
last
all
one at
this.
this hotel. And I'm like, where's mine? One of them ones. He went, who are you? I said, Joe Calzaghe, Welsh boxer. This guy had no clue, of course. These Saudis don't care about boxing or anyone. You know what I mean? Unless you like shake, you don't give a shit. Anyways, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get you one. So next minute, I'm in this like limo thing, and I'm out of Riyadh now. It's like you go to the bum end of nowhere where they're called farms, so they're like palaces, yeah, like walls, like 50 feet up in the air, like
It's like a compound.
yeah. But like the walls, I've got the video. I'll send you the video. Like the walls, they just go on forever because like the farms and the land, are fucking, they've got mega money anyway.
Yeah.
Pull up to this gate, walkie-talkies, these guys. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty serious. This next minute, these gates just open, and this fucking building in front of me. I'm like, what is this? Go straight in. Guy opens the door, and it's straight in front of me, just like from me to you. Conor McGregor stood there. I'm like, whoa. Bear in mind, I'm there in an Al Hilal football top and shorts. Bear in mind, that country, like shorts, you shouldn't really be doing it. So I've just rocked up. I've had my door open for me. I'm like, I've hopped out this car. I'm like, straight over to Conor McGregor. I was like, what's happening? Like, sort of thing. I had a little conversation with him. He didn't even shoo me away like he would, if you'd seen him on the street or whatever. I was like, this is mad. Can I get a picture? Mega gassed.
What was he like in person, McGregor? Because obviously, like, when you see him on Instagram and stuff, he just always looks absolutely off his fucking head.
Yeah.
Is that just
exactly what he's like? That's exactly what he's like.
Still off his head.
Yeah, absolutely off it. But in terms of people inside that palace and outside the palace, this guy, he had the most story in the room, not even asked. Like, the way he was sort of stood and like his mannerisms and all this, like he was a standout guy in there for me, 100%.
Is he just like the loudest guy in the room anywhere?
Yeah, 100%.
It's Conor fucking McGregor though, isn't it? So what do you expect?
And then as soon as I walk in, everyone's there. I've been talking to everyone. Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Turkey Al Sheikh, Usyk. Everyone is in this room. Mike Tyson, Amir Khan, he could hear me speaking. He went, you, come here. I said, where's your accent from? I said, Preston. He went, fucking hell, man, what are you doing in here? Fucking hell, how'd you get in here, bro? So I told him. I was like, fucking hell. He said, you want to get a picture of Mike? I said, yeah. Anyways, he's taken my phone off out of my hand. He's gone, yeah, Mike, come and let him get a picture, innit? He's basically like, shook his hand. Amir Khan's taking a picture. And bear in mind, I've got Mike Tyson's fucking warm hand
his
in my
fucking
hand.
shovel of a hand.
Like I say, mine was like a little pinky finger around his. Anyway, I've got all of his hand, and Amir Khan's trying to get all these angles, but he's telling Mike Tyson, bear in mind, I'm just like that. Like, short time, yeah. Then he's like, just come and sit here and do this and do that. Well, he's still got me phone. Everyone is in the room is staring at me.
Me can't giving you photo shoots.
Literally,
Insane, mate. Absolutely insane.
And because of how loud he was, everyone in the room is staring at this moment because Amir Khan's loud as fuck. And I'm there like, on one knee, holding my son, like everyone's staring. I'm talking like everyone. Manny Pacquiao, Usyk, all the teams, everyone is just staring at this fucking picture. Anyways, we get the picture. And Joe Calzaghe and his son Conor come sit with us. So Turkey Al Sheikh enters the room. Everyone stands up. His Excellency, all this. I'm like, shit, this is pretty mad. Anyways, next minute he's going around shaking everybody's hands, and he's come walking towards me. So I just like sort of creep behind Joe Calzaghe, because like I say, out there that's a beheading sort of business. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're in a place you shouldn't be, and you're in His Excellency's gaff. Like, I thought, you know, if I shake his hand or something and I'm not allowed to, I'd be beheaded. So I just thought, fuck that moment.
Yeah. Not worth the risk.
Yeah, I'll grace his presence, but you know, cool.
Yeah, I don't fancy getting fucking my dome chopped off.
Literally, yeah.
Bet that was mad though. So you just blagged your way in and you fucking...
Blagged my way in, and people in there knew about it. They were buzzing off it. Like Prince Nassim's sons, Adam and Sammy Hamad, they were like, that is mad. You know, fair play to you, lad. Like, fair play. I ate with them all, the banquet, and I was just getting around talking to every single person. You know, every single person I had a conversation with.
You're going to make the most of the opportunity, though, aren't you?
Exactly.
100%.
And I 100% did. You know, I didn't get in there and freeze up.
Yeah.
Which is, at the start, I could feel myself.
Well, first guy was Conor McGregor as well, so you're like, you know, instantly you got to be switched on you.
From that moment, like, having Conor McGregor's time for a good 3 or 4 minutes, people, I think, from that moment, think, oh, fucking hell, they know each
You've
other.
got to be someone.
Yeah. Well, you've got to be someone to be invited into that.
Of course you do.
To the place.
Exactly, yeah. And like I say, the amount of people that was like, who are you? Like, but in a nice way. Because, for example, if you're getting invited into there, you must be fucking...
You must have some sort of status.
Yeah. And it was great in there because there was none of the fighters' teams or securities, or besides a few private security in there. So it was class. I could sort of do my thing.
That's
no
insane.
big meatheads sort of staring at me like, who's this guy? Which I've had problems with since that moment. So
I know, I was going to say, I was seeing like you've been kicked out, you've been refused things and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I got smacked in the face at one of them as well. At the event, ringside.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, what happened there then?
So...
You didn't square up to someone, did you?
No. I mean, so Battle of the Baddest happened. I watched the fight ringside. Chris Eubank Jr. is there. I mean, here, next to me. Joe Calzaghe in front of me. Ricky Hatton's in front of me. Class, ringside. Bang. Like the best seats in the house for free. And then second fight happened out there, which was Anthony Joshua and Ngannou. Yeah, Anthony Joshua and Ngannou. And I'm going in entry. This guy showed me my picture with Mike Tyson. He said, "This is you." I said, yeah, you know, fucking yeah, it's me, sort of thing. But nothing of it.
You want a signature? It is me, mate.
Yeah, that's me.
I'll get a picture of you if you want that.
Yeah. Anyways, and they're like, come with us, sir. So I'm at the VIP gate because I thought, I've got VIP again, no worries. I had actually a pass off Joseph Parker's auntie or cousin or something like that to give us a free passes. So VIP, you know, for the VIP gate protocol, pretty expensive tickets. So they bring me in. I thought, I'm getting ushered in, you know. Me being stupid as fuck, sits me down in this room and I'm talking like 8 fucking private securities, like just blended in, like very undercovers, proper security guys. And this is you. You're not allowed in. Like that. I was like, what? And I'm like a bit, what do you mean? And they're like, you stay here. Anyways, they're radioing through, and then this big, like, unique, like, Jamaican sort of fucking, you know what I mean?
Like, been eating yam since you were born.
Yeah,
like, sort of thing.
yeah, baby bottles protein. he rocks in, he's like, yeah, you're not allowed in. We've been told by some kind of board or whatever, you're not allowed in. So I was like, why? But then again, at that point, I was like, fucking... wounded, but man, I've flown all the way to Saudi by myself again for this event, saved up a lot of money, and I got there. I'm like, why? He's like, no, refuse entry, get out. You're not allowed to come back. But like, they're very serious out there. If they say something, do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like kicking off. I'm on my fucking. I get my phone out. I'm alive. I'm like, these fuckers won't let me in. These fuckers won't let me in.
I remember seeing that.
Lose it. I lost my head. I can't lie to you. I lost my head. And he basically said, yeah, not allowed in. So I found out. It was Gold Star Promotions, a UK-based boxing promotion company, and his bellend, who owns a security firm from Blackpool, absolute melt of a guy, had basically told the Saudi, like events promotions company, you know, this guy's a trespasser, don't let him in, he's a fraud, told him this bollock story. However, I had my ticket. It wasn't like I was trying to sneak in. You know, I'd done everything.
You paid, you've done your thing.
Paid. You know what I mean? So they refused me entry. I went back to the Crown Plaza, the Ritz actually, because that's where the fighters were staying. So I knew where they were all staying because fucking, you know, I've been around them for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
So I landed there like way before the fight, you know, to meet them all, press conferences, all that, and sort of just follow the entourage, you know, be involved in the events. Get back to Crown Plaza. I'm watching the fight on the big screen, fucking like wounded, you know, gutted. Anyway, Sonny Edwards comes in, boxer. All the boxers start coming. I'm like, all right, cool. Tell them a story. They're like, yeah, that's wrong. Like, that's wrong. You know what I mean? Sue them.
Sue them.
Yeah. So I lost my shit. Basically, flew out to Saudi. Didn't even get in the AJ fight. So that was a fucking flipping nightmare for me.
Say whatever the fuck you want on here, mate.
Yeah.
It's fine. Mate, that's an absolute mare. So, like, obviously before you said you met these Saudi lads that sent the Hummer and stuff out to you. So, like, what's the story with them? Like, because I remember seeing all these pictures of you just, like, there in your, I don't know what it's called.
Thobe.
Yeah, in that.
What's it called?
It's called a thobe.
A thobe.
Thobe, yeah. So these guys, bear in mind, so this is from the first fight I met in Battle of the Baddest. Now, the way I blended myself into the seating arrangements, bear in mind, ringside and then me. Like, ringside me. So I was amongst these, obviously, ballers of the country, like, huge ballers.
Yeah,
like,
more money than you could ever imagine.
they're all blended in, you know, they're all in the phobes, they got everything on. And I was like, proper, like, fury, screaming. I stood up on my chair, got sat down about 10 times. Bear in mind, in Saudi, they don't give a shit about the boxing. They're just there for the appearance. They have to be there. Like, you know, it's kind of an event. They have to be there. So I'm loud. All my enthusiasm's coming to Tyson Fury, you know. And then the decision came with, you know, Ngannou. So I just fucking jumped out and walked out. I was like, fuck this. But then I didn't realise. I forgot these Saudis had taken me Instagram. So that's how they found me. And then from there, sort of built a good friendship with them. They're taking me out for food, you know, they're putting me up and like just showing me the best kind of hospitality ever.
I remember seeing some of the gaffs that you were in, like the rooms, like it was insane. It literally looked like a palace where you were. Yeah.
Now these kids are 19, 16 years old, and they say, oh, we'll send the driver, pick you up. Lambos, Uruses, G-Wagons, Ferraris, like, you name it. They've all got the Patek Philippe's on, 250Ks. Like, these guys are like, not kids, but, you know, young men.
Yeah.
And they're taking me out. And the best thing about it was they sort of introducing me to Saudi. But I didn't know anything about the country, you know, the history and all the cool stuff about it. You know, they're taking me to like these mad places where, you know, not many tourists go. Not many tourists know about it. People go there for the glitz and the glamour.
It's something only the locals will know about and fuck it.
Now I've got all these kids. They're my tour guides. You know, they're driving me around and they're telling me everything about, like, this is Ronaldo's house and this quarter is owned by him, and they're telling me everything about MBS, the Crown Prince, and, you know, they're very sort of enthusiastic about that. So I thought this was cool as fuck. Anyways, from there I've been offered a job. They're like, you go back to UK, get your passport, go to the place in London. For your visas, where you basically get visas and stuff like that.
The embassy.
Yeah. So this guy basically asked his dad. He said, you know, this guy wants to stay here, wants to get a job. Can you help him? This guy picks me up, brings me to the diplomatic quarters. He's like, these are my buildings. This is why I own this, and like proper serious guy.
Yeah.
Serious guy. He's like, I would give you a job. You fly back to UK. We will send you paperwork. No problem. You'll come back. I'm like, perfect. So that's when originally I came back to the UK. Bear in mind, I weren't planning to come back here.
Yeah.
Because I've flown from Australia, so I should have gone back there. But when this guy's saying to me, go back to UK, we're going to send all your documents, pick them up from London, you know, you got a job. Perfect. It's like real estate, you know, obviously money, accommodations. I'm back in the UK. I'm like, but man, I've not been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, although I don't want to be back, I'm buzzing. I can't wait for this opportunity. So I waited for ages, like being patient. And he was like, oh, you know, basically it can't happen until 2025.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah.
So is that the next step for you?
Well, potentially, yeah. Potentially get out there and, you know, do that. But with the way the Saudis work, you know, they stick to the word.
Yeah.
Don't ever rush them or ask them for anything. Like, I don't ask anyone for anything.
Yeah.
And the way the Saudis work is very respect, loyalty, all that sort of very, you know. If they say they're going to do something, they do it. So, you know, don't rush them. The job's there, but I've just got to wait for this sort of
That's sick, though.
thing.
So, like, to anyone that's not, like, obviously I've never been to fucking Saudi. I'm certain that you haven't.
I've not.
Would you recommend going?
100%, 1,000,000%. Well, like, best place I've ever been to.
Really?
I've been to loads of places, yeah, 100%.
Man, I just can't get over like how you managed to fucking just blag your way into the palace and shit. That's absolutely insane.
Like I say, I saw an opportunity and I did it. And, like, at the time I wasn't even thinking, because me, sometimes I get carried away with things and if I forget where I am and who I am. So, that opportunity, took it well fans, and from there built some great relationships, good friends.
Yeah.
And now that country, like, I know I'm safe there, I'm comfortable there. I've been there 3 times solo by myself.
Really?
Yeah. And each 3 visits I've been, I've not gone with a big wedge of money where people think you need. I've just gone sort of
Enough for you to take it back.
Yeah. Enough for my accommodation, food, and maybe a little excursion here and there. Not going out there with grands and what people
assume you need.
Yeah. No, most people probably would. They probably would need that kind of cash, but
Yeah, like if in the back of my mind, if I was thinking then, like if I was to go over there, I'd need, I want to say at least a minimum $6,000 just to even like live like an enjoyable life over there. But fucking if you've gone and just winged it completely, it's insane.
So I mean, hospitality out there is second to none, and these guys, like, I never asked them for anything, never expected anything, but it's like
And they just looked after you.
Yeah, I'm staying like out the city in a cheap place, and they're picking me up in these G wagons, and they're taking me out for the day. Like, I'm just staying in this bed at like some nights, some first nights I was staying in like shared accommodation with little bunk beds with rooms and shit. Like,
That's insane.
going out there,
everyone looking at you like, why the fuck's he getting picked up like that?
Yeah, 100%. They're going out for these mad days, taking me sort of to all these events, unreal. And for example, the last time I went out there, this January, I got ringside seats for free. I went with all the lads. Amazing event, and that's when I got whacked in the face by ringside. By one of the security guys, little muppet. Cheap shot as well.
Was it probably a little slide in?
Yeah, I had one security here, both grabbing hold of me. Bear in mind, I'm in a thobe, so you can't move in them.
Yeah.
Buddy,
You're not as agile as you want to be.
No, not at all, because you're limited, because it's here. You can't move your legs any wider than that.
Yeah.
I've got this fucking thing on as well, man. I've got one security here, and literally this security is straight up shot in the eye, like, boof. So then, of course, I've lost my shit there, and I've just been like throwing this security guy, saying, fuck this. I've grabbed hold of him, and the next minute, like, about 6 of them, like, basically manhandled me out of the event. Like, oof.
Man.
Which was annoying. But then I got back in and watched it, so it's fine. Like, one of these kids got me back in, no worries.
Did his thing.
But
Hospitality, man.
Jesus, this my eye was actually fucked. I had a black eye for like 3 weeks on Christmas. So my nana wasn't happy.
Yeah.
My nana wasn't happy.
Got to keep the nana happy as well.
exactly.
Always.
Come on.
And it's the last time I seen her before I went to Australia, like good 3 years or whatever ago. That Christmas, I had a black eye, and I'd not seen her for. So she's just like, "You've been fighting again," and all this. I was like,
You're a Roman.
Yeah. I was like, no, I've not. Swear to.
It was a cheap shot, I promise.
Yeah.
Man, so obviously during that period, you started dabbling with, what was it, fight season promotion?
Yeah.
So what was the story behind that? Like, why did you want to set that up? And like,
because of the engagement I had when I was putting my Instagram posts up, like millions of people on my page, just from stories and tags and reshares. When you get in like all these like big timers resharing your post on Instagram, your engagement. My engagement levels are huge. So fucking hell, I've got all these messages, blue ticks. It's kind of going off. So what can I do? I was like, I'll set up a little fight promotion company. Why not? Why don't I just set up a little Instagram page? See if I can bring some fighters out here and make some fights. So why not? All these Saudi kids are like, amazing idea, great stuff. We've got the connections. Do your thing. Set up a page. So I set up a page. Had lots of interest from some pretty big fighters. Like, because everyone's doing the Saudi card. This is the first start of the Riyadh season Saudi cards. And bear in mind, if I'm posting there, people like, he's doing all this and he's with all the big names, the big shoulders, the guy's obviously connected. So set up, got the interest. I had people in my DMs like, when can we do it? And I was like, right.
You was at all like was it the BKFC or BKB?
Yeah, it was? BKFC tryouts and stuff like that. I went down with a few lads that I know, fighting, stuff like that. And sort of poached, got a few people from the BKFC, can't lie, poached them up. And my plan was, right, people will pay. Obviously, it's not funded because I've no funding. I'm not rich. can't fund it. Plan was, people pay. They do a few weeks training camp, and they fight in Saudi. So I've flown back out to Saudi. I've got all this interest. I'm like, right, where can I do it? You know, sort of doing up the dotting the T's and that sort of stuff. Plan was get them fighting out there, but they're going to train either, you know, in here or wherever else. And then, I had all of the right ideas and people involved, but I was doing too much, so I just fucked it off. And then just give these fighters like other avenues, because I couldn't be arsed with it. And only because at that time, I couldn't get no venues, sort of Manchester, Preston, anything like that. And it was too much hard work, especially as a one-man team.
Oh, 100%.
So I parked the idea, and I met with a guy that owns a boxing gym. I met with his missus. They run loads of businesses, fight promotions. It was like, love the idea. You know, love the idea. You've got all the interest, but rather than trying to rush it and do it like within 3 months, which is what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like stupidly.
Things take time, don't they? So.
Yeah. They went, write it all up, business plan wise, sit down, and we'll talk about getting some cash in for it. Yes, Sam. Always. Anyways, presented the idea. Great interest. Sponsors there, but like, yeah, that's just. You know, it's a little backseat at the moment. I'm not rushing into things. You know what I mean? Because, you know, things need time, and when you rush, shit happens.
No, exactly. Never rush into it. Like, you've got to allow time for things to grow, specifically. Yeah. Man. But yeah, fucking. Well, we're at the 46-minute mark. We've not really said fuck all. We've got a brilliant story from you.
New co-host, I think.
Oh no, we need to...
New co-host.
Anthony can stay in Ghana.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep him away, mate. Keep him away.
Honestly, you want to see some shit he's been eating though? Mate, it's literally, he's fucking. It's basically just a mixing bowl full of like. It looks like fucking vomit. I saw that there was a crab in there.
What, Ghanaian food?
Yeah. Fucked. Have you ever tried it?
Nah, no.
I've tried this one thing. It's called fufu, and it's literally
fufu.
Yeah. It's just like bread dough.
Right.
And honestly, mate, it's rank.
And they eat it with their hands, don't they?
Sorry.
Yeah, well, they do that in Saudi as well. They eat Jack Monday chicken and rice.
Oh, right, yeah.
And traditionally sit on the floor. Like I say, I've eaten with them properly, and the food's actually banging chicken and rice.
What? So no utensils? Are just like
fingers,
just
hands.
Finger blast it.
Yeah, finger blast the fuck out of it.
Insane.
Tasty, yeah.
Man, but yeah, obviously, as I was saying, we're at the 47-minute mark. It's going to be a fucker to edit if it goes any longer than this. So, thank you for your time today, Kieran.
No worries.
We much appreciate it.
No worries. I mean, it's one of them. I wish I could break that down into 15, 20 minutes, but...
No. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. But yeah, we've been pointless. This has been Kieran. Sick story. I'll put all of his tags in the in the description below. And yeah, as always, this has been We Don't Care. Peace.
We don't care.
Bang.